You're listening to the Electrical Company Marketing Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping your service-based business grow and thrive using the latest technology in internet marketing. And now, here's the host of our show and the CEO of Grow Inc., Matt Law.
All right, everyone, welcome to episode 12. This is our final training for now. And if you're listening, I want to encourage you to pause this and go back to episode 1. And the reason is that this audio training is meant to be discovered in order. And if you're starting right here, you're going to be learning about a follow-up system that we use. But it would be better if you learned about the 4 steps of marketing that we use. Say the right thing with your unique selling point, grow your database with platforms and offers, measure and leverage the marketing arsenal, and automate your follow-up with marketing automation. In today's last episode, we're going to be talking about a simple follow-up system for prospects and customers. And this is the last step, marketing automation. We're going to talk about how you integrate it with your CRM. We're going to talk about how all of this works. So if you just start here, you're going to be confused. I would suggest going back to the very first episode and going from there. So as we kind of wrap up our training here, and we may add some additional training as we go, but as the 12 basic parts of training that we've done, we've gone through a whole lot. And so I just want to recap a little bit with you and make sure that you've been tracking with us. So in our first episode, I talked about the 4-step marketing process, unique selling points, platforms and offers, the marketing arsenal, and then marketing automation. And we learned a lot of that. Hopefully you've listened to the book and you've seen why those 4 steps are very powerful and go together. In episode number 2, we talked about how you can measure your marketing, and we talked about UTM data, setting up goals and analytics, and getting all of that information set so that you can see what is working and what's not. So when we talk about marketing and growing a company, a service business like yours, we really can see what's happening. And that's where the difference is with us versus a lot of agencies. They're saying, get your name out there. You got to keep getting your name out there. We say, if we're spending money on marketing, we need to get results. We need to get leads. We need to get requests for quotes. It's all measured. Online is measured. So people even who call on your website from Google Ads, we can see that they're calling from Google Ads because of call tracking on your website. If you're doing billboards, we can measure all of that. So we want to measure everything we do. And once everything is measured, we can see what works and what doesn't. We turn off what doesn't, and then we double down on what does work. In episode 3, we talked about building the perfect website. And basically, I shared with you that your website, you need something that is super fast. And we use something called Duda.co, mobile website design. You can customize it. It's secure. It doesn't get hacked like a lot of WordPress sites. Again, it's got API connected. So when you take a form filled out on that website, it can go right into your custom CRM. It's got a blogging application as part of it. So you can build templates and build really SEO-friendly content. We really, really love this platform, and that's what we use for our clients. And so I know that there's a lot of different options. You're probably hosted on WordPress right now. If you build it yourself, maybe it's something like Wix or something, but I would make sure you set up a website that is a really strong platform such as Duda. And why, during that training, we also talked about, I should mention, that all of your service pages for the various services you have, they need to have dedicated landing pages. One, this is great for SEO. But this is also super important for pay-per-click because you're going to drive people over from Google Ads to dedicated landing pages for your services. So we talked about that, and hopefully you got a lot of information about website building as we talked about that. Then we talked about the ultimate welcome package. Your ultimate welcome packages is anytime someone requests a quote on your website, they're going to receive a PDF with this special information about your company. If they call your phone number and they're requesting a quote online over the phone, you're going to say, hey, can I send you over some information about our company? You check a box in your custom CRM and it sends that over. Inside of this welcome package is a welcome letter from the owner. There's another document with all of your best Google reviews. You also have another doc with your company's unique selling points, a list of your services that they could upsell and maybe bundle and save. If it's a high-end job, you can have financing on there. We also put a magnet and a special little card where they can scan it to see all of your reviews. This is brought by your salesperson if that's you visiting. If they also receive a digital copy when they request a quote for a couple $1,000s a year. That will give you about probably 750 pieces, maybe 1,000. For 2,000 to 3,000 a year, you are going to increase your conversions. If you can increase your conversions just on the jobs and the leads you have now, that is going to give you a great return on investment. In episode 5, we talked about local search marketing. And remember, if you go back, I was talking about the Google 3-pack at the top, like the A, B, C, and maps. And whenever someone searches for, whatever contractor near me, like your business, HVAC contractors near me, plumbers near me, electricians near me, aluminum contractors near me, roofers near me, septic, whatever it is, whenever they search for that, fence builders near me, there's going to be a local pack. And remember, that's name, address, and phone number. By having your name, address, and phone number correct online, it creates what's called a citation for your business. You can claim these and add and update this information. Make sure all of your Google Maps business information is correct. You can grow reviews. We talked all about that, but by doing that, you can claim that top spot in Google. So it's something you should definitely be doing for your business. It's something we suggest for every local company. Episode 6, we talked about killing it with SEO, links, and content marketing. And so you can spend a lot of money in Google Ads, which we are going to suggest that you spend wisely with Google Ads. But what about all of this free traffic? And so if you build a website on Duda, it's healthy and it's fast, then what you would do is do on-site SEO. And remember, we said we're going to have a dedicated landing page for all of our key services. And what we're going to do is we're going to use H1 tags, make sure the keyword density is right, no errors, and then optimize it, put a form on it so people can request a quote and your free offer. And then you're going to have a great website. The on-site SEO is going to be good, but then we're going to build links by reaching out to bloggers. We pay per link, and then you will see your website rank very quickly for all of your top keywords. So a lot of our clients, I'll just tell you, if you end up moving down the road with us, you'll see all this. They may have 100 keywords in that they're trying to rank for. Because we create content for all of those pages, like I'm telling you to do, they actually will rank. They may have 80 keywords and 75 of them will be in the top 5. Could you imagine what that would be like for your business? So the last thing we talked about was in order to rank for something, you have to have content for it. And so you need to go out and you need to create articles for the services and the cities that you serve. So if you have like 4 or 5 cities, I say you have 5 cities and 5 services, you'll have 25 pages. 5 times 5 is 25. So SEO is something that once you're ranking really well for, you don't necessarily have to do more, but it's something that can really, really help your business grow. In episode 7, we talked about using social media to create viral referrals. And this is you creating a document, sending it to clients that have just entered into the project phase, and they're going to take before, during, and after photos. They are going to send that on social media, and they're going to tag your company for all of their friends to see. And so we kind of walked through that, and we talked about why that it works so well and that how you should be offering them something. If you listen to that episode and you're like, well, how do I automate that? That would be done in your CRM, which we talked about in our last episode. Episode 8, we talked about dominating Google Ads, and there's a lot with Google Ads. And when I say Google Ads, if you're measuring your marketing, it could be Bing, it could be Yahoo. We do run ads on Nextdoor, on Facebook. there's a lot of places that you can run ads, but it's the same thing. You want to add your UTM data so you can track them, the campaign, the source, the medium. It's going to go into your CRM when they request a quote, or if they fill out or they call and ask you how we heard about you, they're going to say Google Ads, and you can go ahead and put them in there in that category as well. In Google Ads, we talked about the importance of Performance Max campaign, remarketing, what that's about, and how important search ads are. Again, you got to make sure you have goals set up in Google Ads so you can track conversions. And if you have a bad taste in your mouth from Google Ads, I totally understand that. I don't like Google. I shared that with you. And my job and my goal is to get you to spend as money as possible with Google that will generate the maximum number of leads. So there's a way that you can do that. So we kind of went through that. In the following episode, we talked about these yard signs and referrals and boosting reviews. Just encourage you, a yard sign and door hangers are a great way if you're on the job. And then to get referrals, when you close out a campaign, you want to send that thank you gift that has a business card telling them, hey, we would love to hear how we did for you. And then some additional business cards where they can give you referrals. And that's all going to be tied into a thank you gift. For a lot of clients, we do like a lunchbox that's foldable. You can get a nice envelope. It can't get damaged while you're shipping it. And then every month you're going to see reviews come in. You should go from a small number of reviews. What we see is clients growing anywhere from maybe having 15, 20 reviews, which is common for a service business, to well over 100, which totally increases your conversions. And so we talked pretty deep about that. In episode number 10, we talked about the free offer and how that works. I shared with you how by giving away something free, such as a coupon or as a design guide, it's educating your customers, and you'll generate leads that way. But I will also tell you, for a lot of service businesses, every time someone requests a quote, you need to send them over your education package, which is all of your USPs and things like that. So this is something that if you will do, you'll generate leads. And then we talked about how you will follow up with them, which is really what we're going to dig into this episode a little bit more. In our last episode, episode 11, we talked about the custom CRM. And so as you see all of this marketing and we talk about all of this stuff, what ends up happening is if you do all of those things, forms of marketing that we talked about, your lead volume is going to grow substantially. So maybe you're getting, I don't know, a lead a week on your website, or maybe a couple leads a week. When you're doing all of that marketing, the local SEO and pay-per-click and really optimizing your website and it's converting, you could generate, I mean, we've had clients generate 7-10 leads a day just online. And plus they're calling in and they're being added to the CRM. So you're going to see your lead flow go from nothing to, our goal would be to have it go to 200 leads per month that go into your database. And so if you go from 0 or 10 or very few to that many, it's important to have a CRM to manage everything. And so we talked about how there's phases to your business. And it may be new lead and then scheduled, and every business is different, but we would create a custom CRM based on your process and your phases of your business. And then inside of there would be connected to forms and buttons that could be pressed that will trigger actions, such as sending out the referral campaign, email and direct mail. And so what you're going to learn about in this episode is there is marketing automation that uses technology called application programming interface. And it can take a tool such as Knack, what we build our CRMs on, and it can communicate with things like TextMagick, which is a great tool for sending text. It can integrate with MailChimp, which is a great tool for sending email. It can integrate with a tool called Click-to-Mail, which can automatically send out postcards and letters. And so what you need to realize is that there's thousands and thousands of marketing tools out there. Some of you guys use G Suite or Google Business for email. It can log into your account and it could send an email. Maybe use Microsoft products, Microsoft Office. It can log in and it can send an email on your behalf. And so API allows applications to communicate with each other. And as a part of marketing automation, I'll try to explain how this would work in your business. So say you have someone on your website requests, let's say you give away a free design guide or a free coupon. What would happen is they're not requesting a quote, so they would go into your CRM as free offer lead. Let's just call them that. And that would trigger a sequence of emails. And so what would happen is it would say, hey, website would say to you, hey, we got a new lead, and it would email it to you. But then it would say, hey, MailChimp, put this guy on a campaign and send him 3 emails. All right, maybe you capture this guy's phone number, all right, as part of the lead. They have to put their phone number in. After 3 days, it would text them and say, hey, I saw you requested our free, resource, our design guide. Can I help you with anything? Would you like to schedule a call? And so this is an example of how applications can talk to each other. Now, maybe you're in NAC, which is your customer CRM. Maybe you're using a different CRM, but it all works the same. So hopefully you understand this. Maybe you're in your CRM and you're like, hey, I want to schedule this person. You put in the time that you scheduled them, you push enter, and then that logs in, it takes that data, and it pushes it to TextMagic that sends a text. It logs into your Gmail account or to your Microsoft account, and it sends them an email. And so by connecting your CRM to automation, you can create a custom follow-up process. The main thing to understand is that there's a lot of different technologies out there, and you're like, Matt, I don't understand this CRM and database. It's complicated. What you have to understand is it shouldn't be complicated. What you need to do is identify the phases in your business, right? What's the phases are and what you need to say to them. And then there's marketing automation tools that can do all of this for you. Keep, which is used formerly Infusionsoft, is a great tool for marketing automation, moving people through the funnel. With us, because of each business being so unique in the service world, we want it to be custom. And so we use a tool called NAC to build a custom CRM. But the truth is, it's still connecting to your email, it's still connecting to text, it's still, connecting so that you are very clear on how the process works, and you're able to communicate with that with your customers and with your prospects. We shared in the training that sometimes you may be doing a referral campaign. If they have a lot of social followers, you can click a button and that would send an email and say, hey, here's what we're offering. If they say yes, they want to do it, you could click a button and then it would add a follow-up to them. Say, hey, could you do our posts here after this many days? And so you can schedule all of this out and automate that, even all the way down to when a project closes, like click yes, send welcome package. That could add a task for someone on the team. And then they send out the welcome package, sends a text to the customer saying, hey, would you do a review for us? And so that's how, by integrating your CRM with marketing automation and all of this, you can see how you'll increase conversions on prospects, right? So every prospect, if you treat a prospect like that, you're going to close a higher percentage, no doubt, in your mind, in my mind, I'm sure. But then let's talk about customers. So once you have customers in your business, in your CRM, they should say, hey, we've got prospects and all of this, but then there's customers. And then what I would suggest is that each quarter you reach out to all of your customers and you cross-sell them on service. So you could do emails, which they could automatically be moved to your MailChimp campaign. I'm just giving an example. If you use a different app, they're all pretty much the same, but you could use an application to mail them, send them emails. You could also take that same data set and you could move them to Click to Mail or Lob. There's a number of these online tools for sending direct mail, and you could send them postcards and cross-sell them. So imagine if every single lead was communicated at the right time with the right information and you followed up with every single customer you have each quarter? What if you took them at Christmas and you recorded a voicemail and you sent it to all of them, just saying, hey, thank you for being a customer this year. We really appreciate you. I just was going through our list and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Thanks so much. And if I can help you with anything next year, let me know. Imagine what that would do for your business. And so by using this technology called marketing automation and connecting things together through API, it allows you to leverage communication in a way that was formerly not possible. We're not talking about spamming people. I should be clear, because we are segmenting our customers and our prospects in such a way that we are following up with them just at the right time with the right information. And if anytime they say, hey, I don't want to hear from you anymore, basically they can unsubscribe and opt out. So over the last 12 episodes, I've really tried to pour into you everything I know about growing a service business. And I can imagine for some of you entrepreneurs, this has been over your head. I mean, I've been doing marketing for close to 20 years. As a consultant, we've owned marketing agencies, and there's a lot to it. And what I will tell you is that there's a ton of noise in the world of marketing. It's funny is that I don't usually, if I meet someone that owns a service business, I'm always interested in what they do for marketing, but I never want to say, hey, I can help you, because there's so many people out there that are just bad marketers that don't know anything, and they're talking about a logo design changing everything, and or TikTok videos, and they don't live where service business owners live. And so I don't always share a lot with people I meet or with friends unless they're a referral, because there's so much garbage, there's so much noise, and there's so much bull. And if I could just leave a couple of words of encouragement for you service business owners, is that you don't have to do a lot of things to grow. I mean, I've given you the full formula for, multiple percentage growth, 100%, 200, 300% growth, where you're going to really, really grow and dominate your competitors in that local area. But you could take just a couple of these things and start small, and you'll see a growth process. You'll see things pick up. And it's not really hard to do. And so what I would encourage you is focus on the things that I've talked about in this training, like focus on that welcome package, focus on getting your ads cleaned up, focus on SEO and building a healthier website. And if your budget is super small, you just are barely scraping by, then we get that. We totally understand that. And that's why we're giving you the blueprint, we're giving you the audio training, we're giving you the checklist and the tools that we use too, just to try to help. But I will say, if you're overwhelmed and you're like, man, what I will tell you is it doesn't cost as much as you think. We're pretty good at streamlining and knowing what needs to be done per client. And so we have checklists of everything that needs to happen. And because we only work with service businesses, we already have website templates that convert. Obviously, color, design, brand, things like that are going to be changed, but we know how to do this. And so it's not as expensive as you think to get started in a smaller package. And so when we usually budget out for what it is to grow, we're looking at what you have done so far and what's available. So with most of our new clients that come on board, they're doing $1 million in revenue, and they don't have a good online presence. They don't have good rankings, but they want to grow, and they love what they're doing, and they love their customers. And by simply just opening up the door a little bit with Google Ads and a website that converts and some measurable marketing, we can usually grow them enough where they want to go to a full implementation. So I just want to remind you, if you're saying, hey, I'd like to work with you, Matt, but I don't know if I can afford this. Our goal is you can start small, and our starter package is let us see what it's going to take. And then you could build that out over a period of, say, 6 months or 8 months. And once that starter package is done, you should see enough growth where you're going to want to go on to a fully immersive package. Maybe you're doing really well and you've got some extra cash. We have some clients that start off with a full immersive marketing package and they're just ready to go. And we do the website, we build a custom CRM, marketing, and man, by 4 months, the company is shaking and rumbling and they're growing very quickly. We love that too, but we understand you got to build trust. And so we're happy to look at a couple different options. So if you're interested in learning more about, Grow Inc., and we are finishing up this training, just want to remind you, you can go to grow.inc and /start. If you've already requested our audios, next step is to fill out the application. And so you may be like, hey, Matt, why the application? Isn't that kind of on the nose? Like, hey, we have to apply to work with you. I hate to say it, but yes, you do. And the reason is because we have to take on the right clients, because in our situation, we don't say yes to everyone because there's some clients that just aren't a good fit. And sometimes they're either too big and they're already doing all this stuff. For those types of clients, we will consult with and just give them some help. But, really what they need to do is they just need to take the training and the information we're giving them and they need to apply it. And for us, our big win-win is helping people that are trying to grow to give them everything that they need to grow in-house. And so that's what we do. So we start off with the application and we're going to learn about your business, revenues, what you've done in your past. It's a super transparent application. And if you're a good fit, then the next step is to schedule a free consultation. And during the consultation, we're just going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about what you've tried, what your goals are, your geographic area, what makes your business unique. And hopefully you'll be educated enough about our process and our systems to talk about unique selling points and things like that. If there's interest on your end in digging deeper and seeing what the numbers may look like, we're really good at forecasting how many leads you could generate and based on what you're doing now and what if we opened up the sky and the SEO and the Google ads and the local search, what it could look like as we grow. So we'll kind of say, hey, I definitely see some growth here. But then the next step would be we would go and invite you in for an investigation meeting. The investigation meeting is a 2-hour meeting, and we're going to dig deep into all things marketing, like your analytics, your ads, all of that. And basically, it's for us to investigate the possibility for you to grow. And it may sound kind of weird, but we only look for win-win relationships. So if I don't think we can help you grow, maybe you don't have the capital to invest in marketing, the ad spend or whatever, or maybe you're in a super rural area that just doesn't have the opportunity to grow. We'll just be honest with you. But in our investigation meeting, we dig deep to figure out what we can do to help you grow. And we just share with you one-on-one. You'd be talking to me. There may be another consultant on the call, but we are going to just pour into you and help you with everything. And then the next step is we'll send you your growth summary. And this is basically an online document that says, here's everything that we suggest that you would do. And here is what we think it will cost in regards to your budget. And all of that is just kind of like a conceptual, like, hey, here's what we think. And that money, like the budget, isn't how much you pay Grow Inc. The money is how much we think it's going to cost to spend in pay-per-click, the things that we're going to print out and do for your business, all of that. We kind of give you an estimate for a marketing budget. And then the next step is that we are going to meet and we're going to finalize your package. And so normally that would be just to go through everything on that list and figure out what really is needed. Maybe sometimes we add some more stuff, and then we'll send you a contract. Our contracts are super straightforward. They are short and very, very detailed, tells everything that is included and what we're going to do. Now, depending on your package, some packages for our ongoing clients, those have a fee to do that, but really most of the fee is built into in hopes that the client will grow. And that's why we only take clients on. And so like, yeah. So Matt, do you guys make a lot of money on clients? Yeah, we do really well. The crazy thing is they have no problem paying us these checks because they've grown from, $1 million to 4 million. And so if you think about that, it's really a win-win. And that's a great way to work with clients. I'll tell you a little bit about our client projects and processes. Is the first phase, you're not going to grow. It's called the build out, and it's going to take about 3 months to get everything set up. You got websites, we got measurable marketing, we got ads, and you may get a few more leads, but it's going to take some time. And so when we go into phase one, the build out, it takes a little bit of time. But once we get into phase two and we launch your website and we start implementing stuff, you're going to start feel a little bit of a rumble. Like, hey, we got more leads. Hey, we got more jobs. This is going great. But then as your rankings go into the top 10 and we fine tune your ads and you're expanding, then you're really going to see significant growth. What about measuring revenues and seeing how things are going? Each month we send a report out with leads and the number of calls, and we're trying to track the growth. And we're going to then go in and look at your measurable data and see what's happening with your marketing, make tweaks every month. So some questions you may have is like, hey, do we have references? Of course we do. And so we will give those out if you are close to signing a contract with us. Don't give them out to everyone because obviously I don't want our service businesses, our clients being overwhelmed with callers asking them for tips and things like that. But yeah, if you're close to signing a contract, we would be happy to share with you. Here's one question that people ask me: do all of your clients experience growth? Yes, 100%. So far, so good. We're going to keep on that trend, I'm sure, but it's impossible not to invest what you would do in marketing and not grow. And matter of fact, no matter what you pay, we pretty much guarantee whatever you pay, you'll get back in revenues, profits. It's impossible not to invest in marketing and not get the return in an investment. So everyone grows. Now, here's the crazy thing. If there's a recession, maybe you won't grow as much in that recession. I don't want that to happen either because we wouldn't make as much either. But here's what I do know is that if you were prepared for a recession and have your marketing in place, you're going to survive. Whereas a lot of your competitors may not survive. Another question is, who is our ideal, client? It's the entrepreneur, it's the owner or partner, and you love your small business and you treat your customers right. You have good reviews, you're hungry for growth, and you're willing to invest, at least to try to invest and be educated about marketing and invest in it and see what happens. We only take on clients that we know, like, and trust. It's like, that's our motto. Like, we want people to work with us that know us, that like us, that trust us. And so if we like you and know you, and a lot of times we fly out to your location to meet with you, to plan for 2 days for your implementation. So to us, it's a serious relationship. With us, we don't have a lot of clients. That's not our goal, is to have a lot of clients. Our goal is to invest in the growth of our specific clients. And so if you're wondering if you're a good fit, you have to be willing to invest the capital. And here's what I'll tell you is, even if I didn't charge you a penny to do your marketing, you still have to spend on SEO content. You have to spend on Google. You have to spend on automation in these tools. So it's a lie that you can spend nothing and grow. I think our fees are very affordable and realistic compared to other agencies. Where we really get paid is when your company grows in bonuses. And so that's based after the whole year of you growing. And so most clients haven't had any issue with that. But if you think you're going to grow and just, you're cheap, it isn't going to happen. So if your company is too big, though, by the way, like if you're like above 4 million, depends on really what your industry is. But if you're doing a lot of the stuff right already and you just need some tweaks, we wouldn't take you on as a client. We'd take you on as a client for consulting. And basically, we would be available for you to pick our brains, but we don't take on clients that we can't help grow significantly. So if you're in that been around for a while, not doing a lot of this stuff right, and you're like, Matt, we need to do this stuff, then you may be a great fit. So how do you get started? Just go to growinc.com/start, or if you're already have an account, you can go ahead and log in, fill out the application, and then we will go from there. I want to thank everybody for listening to our training. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it and just spending some time sitting here going through all of the things that business owners should be doing to grow their service business. We want you to know that we are for you and we are cheering for you. I know sometimes that entrepreneurship can have its ups and downs. And of course, my family, like every entrepreneur, has had our share of ups and downs. We have lost everything. We've started over. We've seen great success. I've had a lot of fun growing our business, growing others. And what I encourage people is like, hey, never give up. Just keep learning, just keep growing, and don't be afraid to try new things. Thanks again for listening, for hanging out. Again, this is Matt Law, CEO of Grow Inc. Have an amazing day, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. We hope you found today's episode helpful and informative. For more information about Grow Inc. and to request our free marketing blueprint ebook and other resources, please visit www.grow.inc. That's GRO.inc. We'll catch you in the next episode.